Hey guys, Alton Jones Jr. here in the Tackle Warehouse studio with a really cool bait that I'm super excited to talk to y'all about. This right here is the Geecrack Imo Kemushi Cue Bomb. And you know, JDM tackle has become super prevalent in the USA market. There's a few things to that. One is the pressure that bass are seeing. They're seeing lots of different baits. They're getting targeted in a lot of different ways now with live scope and forward facing sonar. And having something outside the box is a key to getting bites. It just showing them something they've never seen before, and that's what we have right here with the Geecrack Cue Bomb. You'll notice right here it is a sphere lure with strands of skirt material coming through it, and this bait has two things. While at its core it is a finesse tactic, this thing has a very, very large profile, and it has the draw power of, I compare it to a glide bait. I've thrown baits at fish that won't even look at a stick worm or another type of finesse tactic, and you throw this over there, and just out of curiosity, these fish are called to that bait. And you know, learning a lot from the guys at Geecrack that live in Japan of how to fish this bait. There's some really unconventional ways to take this technique to the next level. One thing is so this bait is loaded with SAF material. It's got that Geecrack scent that we all love, and it has a really natural slow fall. The bait with no weight, just simply a hook in it, it's gonna fall very, very slow. These tentacles are gonna stand straight out, and you're gonna get a sphere about this big. While it gets bit like that, just on its own slow natural fall, my two favorite ways to fish it are, number one, on a Nico rig. So I'm simply gonna rig it up with a 1/0 BMC Wacky Nico weedless hook, and then I'm gonna throw a nail weight of my choice in it, depending on the depth that I wanna get it to. If I'm fishing really shallow, I'm gonna be throwing something like a 1/16 ounce. If I'm gonna be fishing deep, I might even go up to a 5.3 gram. And don't ask me how heavy a 5.3 gram is, because I don't know the conversion rate. But two things with this bait. You're gonna let it fall on slack line, and then what I learned in Japan is, rather than the simple, subtle shake, you're actually gonna hit this bait hard. If you don't know what I'm fishing, it's gonna almost look like I'm fishing a jerk bait, just a pop, pop, and then let it immediately to slack. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna allow this bait as itself to create that draw power for the fish, to draw that fish in close, to investigate it, and that pop, pop is gonna trigger that strike, and it's gonna send those bass into feed mode. It's gonna think it's trying to get away from them, and then when you kill it again, the bass is not gonna be able to resist it, and he's gonna inhale it. Another way I like to fish this is on a drop shot. I use the exact same hook, and I throw it on a really, really long drop shot leader, okay? Reason being is I wanna be able to get that natural pop, pop, slow fall without having the drop shot weight rapidly pulling the bait back down. When I pop it, I want it to have that natural pause and fall. So I'm throwing a drop shot leader somewhere at minimum 18 inches. It's gonna look like a small Carolina rig. It's gonna feel weird to throw, but learning from those guys in Japan really, really taught me a lot. Another thing is I like to throw a fairly large hook in it. I prefer a 1/0. This bait being a sphere, it has the tendency to try to spin on the hook. I want something with a little bit more of a wide gap, so that 1/0 is gonna accomplish that, so that the bait doesn't spin around and block the hook penetration that I can get when I get a bite. Very rarely do I have a fish go pick this bait up off the bottom. When we were testing this bait, I struggled to get bit on it, but after learning from the guys in Japan, the technique of the reaction bite and the generating the strikes changed the game for me. We've got two different sizes in this bait right here. We've got a 1 inch and a 1.2 inch. And a pro tip for me, you know, this, while it is a huge profile, I fish Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour. It's an every fish counts, getting lots of bites matter. Many times I actually trim this bait down and get it about half the size. So just like you would trim a chatterbait skirt, a spinnerbait skirt, or a jig skirt to shorten up that profile, I do the exact same thing with the Cue Bomb to help myself generate more bites. This color that I'm holding in my hand right here is called brown white. It's one of my favorite colors. It really excels in those clear water scenarios. You'll see it's got some clear strands, some green pumpkin strands, just really, really natural. When I get into some dirtier water, I love to throw something with a little more pop, like this one right here with the orange or the chartreuse. When I'm deciding between sizes, you've got the 1 and the 1/2. If I'm ever throwing it weightless, fishing it very, very shallow, I like the 1/2. Just that 2/10 of an inch gives you a little bit more weight, easier castability. And if I'm ever fishing deeper, I talked about wanting to get more bites. I like that smaller profile of that 1 inch. and you've got the help of the nail weight or the drop shot weight to help you with castability, so that's not an issue. As far as rigging goes, this is almost always thrown on a spinning rod and spinning reel setup. I love 10-pound Cortland master braid for this. It's a stiffer braid, and you don't have to fight wind knots. You can throw it further. And when we're talking about finicky fish in clear water, throwing a long ways is really, really important. I'm tying braid to a leader. Depending on where I am, the type of cover I'm fishing around, I love, this is a finesse tactic. We're talking light line, 6, 8, maybe even 10-pound Cortland XTR leader material. The thinner the line, the more finesse, the more bites you're gonna get. But if you're throwing it around brush piles and things like that, you definitely wanna go up in that line size class. So I hope this bait helps you guys catch a lot more fish. It has helped me. The JDM market is something us as anglers should always be keeping our eye on, and the Geecrack Cue Bomb is one that catches me a lot of fish. If you guys are looking to get your hands on this bait or anything I talked about here in this video, make sure you check out tacklewarehouse.com to get some.